there's two things that the government side falls to analysis. What is it? The first thing first is about, they said if we use or we focus our textbook in this top-down historiography, it will be less political discussion. But it's not actually. It's the same thing. A lot of people's strategy in steering. So a lot of ordinary people's strategy is steering by the leader. So when textbooks show what's in leaders' head a lot, it will actually increasing the political discussion. And I will explain this more in my arguments later. And the second thing that from the government side falls to analysis is about, they said champion elites systematically had the most wealth, privilege, and access to becoming the leaders of the world and creating one-side view that is probably just biased. I know it actually can happen, right? But what about if the people that comes from simple family that have the determination and critical thinking to lead, that want to try to be the leader, just forgetting by a lot of people. If the textbook doesn't focus on this top-down historiography, then people like this, no one will know his services, and it's a big mistake to forgetting about the people that actually have a lot of contribution, that actually be a leader, but that such people, it's not come from the wealth family, that people will forgetting them like that if we don't make our textbook it's focused on the top-down historiography. And let's just dive deeper to our first arguments. It's about the top. So actually I have two main arguments. What it is, the first thing first panels, it is as a form of appreciation. So if we make our textbook is focused on what the leaders, on what the important people, the government, the leaders story, so that is a form of appreciation, we can say that. And the second thing, it's important the importance of top-down historiography in textbook. What is the importance of that? And let's just dive deeper to our first argument about the form of appreciation. So we already know if a leader in a country or in an ethnic and etc., they have the most powerful and they have the most important role to make that nation or to make that country to get lead into victory. But how? First thing first, the leaders is keeping everything under control. The leaders is keeping their people, the ordinary people that he lead, keep under control. Like, but how? First thing first, they do politics, economics, and war strategies. So, of course, the leader, why does this ordinary people make one people as their leaders? Because of what? Because of that one people have the most powerful and most critical thinking mind. And that such people can make very good politics, economic, and war strategies, especially when there's a post-conflict, when there is in a country happen a post-conflict. So this leader can make a country's condition in whether it is in economic, in politics, the economic condition, the political condition after the war, it can be better if the leaders manage them to be better. Like they have the critical minds to make a political strategies. They have an economic strategies to make the people doesn't suffer in the nation, and about the war strategy too. And the second thing, it's giving inspiration and motivation. So the leader itself, it's not just making a strategy to people to be to lead them into the victory, but they also raise the fighting spirit that the peoples have. like they encourage them to fighting, they encourage them to, they're giving them inspiration, they have so it can raise their fighting spirit, right? And they can lead, and this fighting spirit actually is the one that can lead people into the victory, can gather the victory. And what does that mean? It can lead ordinary people to gather power and make victory, yeah, as I said before. But without this leader, and the condition, if the leaders doesn't exist, there is no people that can make a good strategy in economic and in politics and in war strategy, or maybe especially in economics and politics strategy after this post-conflict. There's no people that manage them. So that is such a disaster, we can say that. So that is the importance of the leader roles. That is so important, and we can make the story to focus by our textbook, so it will be as a form of appreciation to them. And the second argument is it's the importance. What is the importance of top-down historiography in textbook? Actually, it's not just important to make the leaders have an appreciation from people, but it's also have an impact to the people in the future itself. There must be a people that lead and make an initiation, right, in the war or in the post-conflict. There must be a people that lead them into the more good condition, right? And who is the lead? Who people that lead them? The people that lead them is this important people, our government. If textbook focus on the leader story, how they manage the situation, manage the people that in a country, people in the future will know the actual thing that happened. I have two conditions in here. The first thing first, the strategies itself. So they will know, people in the future will know what the actual things that happen, what is the strategy that happened that in the leader's mind. So it's actually not about your statement before. If we focus on this top-down historiography, so it will be a less political discussion. That is actually absolutely wrong, because if we focus on top-down historiography, it actually can increase the discussion about politics, about the strategies of the politics. And the second thing, it's about the background of why the strategy was implemented, right? Actually, a leader making a strategy, there is because of some condition, right? The leader want the best to the nation, to make the nation to lead into the victory. So they want to. So they make this decision, make these policies, right? And people in the future, and if we focus on this, so people in the future can learn their mindset in making such smart strategies that's still relevant. I know from the government side, and we can learn a lot of message and moral story of the leader that they have, and that is. I'm glad to propose. Thank you.